Alright, we should be live, but are we live? Who knows? Perhaps we are.
Yes.
Perhaps we aren't. Alright, I guess I should take down the review screen and say something along the lines of... Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Karl.
I'm Sunny.
Alright. What do we have first up?
We have May.
Who's May?
May.
Is this a new member, May?
Yes. Tabletop scholar done for the D&D army, just need to base.
Yeah, I think this one came up really, really well. I think the way that you use contrast is a lot better than a lot of other people where you use a mix of contrast. So this was made up with two different contrasts with the green primarily, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the bottom of the robe was Dark Angel's green, and then
Dark Angels?
Yeah, like I normally thin down my contrasts a lot, like depending on how much color I want on there. But I normally just use it like a tint, like how they intend for it to be used, like a tint. So I'll start with that, and then while it's still wet, I'll go in with the Karandras green, which is that nice emerald green, and then at the top with his the hat, that's actually Tesseract Glow, but I did mix it with a little bit of Karandras green just to tone down the vibrancy a little bit.
What's the... So no Scorpion green?
No, but I should have just used Scorpion green. It's pretty much the same, like the color that ended up, but I just had that on my table. So I normally just mix my contrast colors as well. Like sometimes I want a deeper leather, I just mix snakebite leather with black to create like different variations and things like that.
I do kind of the opposite with snakebite leather. I mix snakebite with yellow for a highlight.
Oh yeah, so you might do that. So like maybe you put like a very thin coat of snakebite leather on, and then you still have the Zenithal showing through at the top, so you can put in a brighter contrast over top of that to highlight it even further. So I think using contrasts with a gradient technique actually really bumps up the look. And then you can always go in with manual brushwork after that to intensify any highlights that's been lost.
Yep. Would you like to say hi to the chatters?
Yes, hello everybody. Yes, it is a D&D NPC. There are we've made 9 NPCs. Technically, 9 plus 2, 11 NPCs, but 2 of them we have put together with the town guard.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about... Yeah, I know the models you're talking about.
Yeah, because we've sort of done them up as like a set, the way that the color scheme works, so they're not unique in that sense. So, yeah, this whole project is actually finished, but picture taking has...
Well, one part of it is finished. They've made another order sort of thing.
Yeah.
Alright, should we move on to our next one?
Yeah. Yeah, Thomas... Quick update on the Stormcast. I increased contrast between the lightest and the darkest parts of the pelt and glued the cape together. Remaining gap was filled with milliput and will be painted when fully cured.
Cool. And like this is part of it. Like, so it doesn't look like a gap anymore. It looks like a
seam, like maybe it was torn and then now they sort of stitched it together. Yeah,
but I'm sure that he'll fix it up, no problems. But it's hard some of the times deciding what to do. And what I like about Tomas and many of our other people is with the whips, you can see the advantages and disadvantages of... what's that thing that we do? Sub-assembly.
Yeah. Sometimes with the sub-assembly, normally with the sub-assembly, you put it together and then it doesn't really come together.
Some of the times, yes.
Yeah. When you do the dry fitting before it's painted, it's all great. And once it's painted, it's got problems.
Alright, so let us move on to our next
we've got Cyan with some very big news. I'm back. Great to be back in this group. Had to take a personal hiatus. Married and back on the bandwagon. So yes, I own a Warhound Titan. Going to be painting him in my Clan Wolf Beta Galaxy colors like the Wardog Huntsman in the reference. For scale, a Wardog Huntsman with carapace weapon is 4.5 inches high. Yeah, so this is a 3D printed one. And I don't know. I don't think it is as big as a Warlord Titan, but
no,
it's
not.
Still.
It's not a toddler, but an infant.
Well, I do wonder if Cyan will be sort of filing it down at all to sort of clean up the layer lines.
There is a lot of layer lines on this one, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I think that is the pros and cons for 3D printing.
Well, see, like some areas it's okay, but other areas it's pretty intense.
Yes.
Dude, I just read that comment. That's terrible. That is the absolute worst. But yeah, so like over here it's a bit harsh. There's a technique I've seen where people like run thinners with a fan, and then everything looks glass-like. But it's been a couple of years since I saw that. So where is it? Lost to the winds of the YouTube algorithm. But basically, like they had a box and they put thinner in it, and like essentially one thing was blowing it and one thing was sucking it, and the item was kept within there. And then like by the time that it came out, it looked like glass, just how smooth it was.
That's interesting.
Because they did it with like a rubby ducky toy, and but 3D printed. But yeah,
the thing with the rubber ducky toy though, it's that it's more simplified. It's not as detailed. A lot of round edges as well. So I don't know how well that would work on something as high detail as this.
Yeah, I've got no idea, but yeah, something worth looking into, perhaps. I think. Alright, so next up we have
Mr. Bruno. Blocked in all the main colors on the miniature, but mostly worked on the bandages and leather arm brace. I followed the tips and recommendations for both, did a cross-stitch pattern on the bandages, but will do a bit more since right now it's really subtle. The furry stuff coming out the upper parts of the bandages, arm brace, and lower part of the skirt is supposed to be fur. I'm trying to paint it in a way that it separates from the other parts with glaze filters and such. But, and that's a big but, I'm so pleased with how the leather looks like. With all the scratches and stuff. I surprised myself. I'll work more on it on the coming days. As I said on the stream last Friday, thank you so much for the tips. It really helped a lot. And yes, I mean, look at that. The scratches just add another level of
I think
interest.
the only issue with the scratches, right, is he keeps trying to do like that sort of cross stitch sort of look. I'm gonna go into the archives, and I'll let you comment on it for a little bit while I try and find what I'm looking for.
I do quite like the way that you've done the cross hatching. But yeah, with the scratches, it does take a bit of planning to make sure that it feels natural, because sometimes a lot of people just go with X's. Like, you don't necessarily want to be doing that. Like, you don't always want to be drawing X shapes everywhere. You really just want to get your brush, hold it at the middle to the end of it, closest to the top where furthest away from the actual brush head, and then you just sort of wiggle your hands around, and that will create these really random strokes. Absolutely random strokes, and that's kind of what you want, because like when you get scratched up, it's not going to be in perfect X shapes. you know. So
So I've found what I'm looking for, at least an example, right? So here, right? Now this isn't perfect, right? But what you'll see is the thing is with scratches from leather, this not as good as the boots, right? So especially this boot is better than this boot, right? And we are zoomed in a fair amount. But with all of my caveats and such taken away, the thing is what you want to do with your leather is you want to have crease marks, right? Think about it that way rather than cross hatches. So you see all of these scratches that I've put in. The reason why I've put them in where I have is you'll notice that they all come from the edge. Yep. And the reason that they come from the edge is because that's where you get those marks, because the leather's trying to stretch around there. But here's another thing. So you'll see there's some little marks underneath here, and I'm not sure how much it'll come up, but you'll see with some of those scratches there's a tiny bit of black underneath there. Now it looks like you're going for a higher level, you know, when it comes to this sort of stuff, right? So what I think you've done is good. Now there's two ways that I would go about it. I'd either put a tiny highlight on some of these areas, not all, some, and then I'd hit it with a snakebite leather filter so that everything has a similar color profile, right? I know it sounds gimmicky, but like snakebite leather is probably one of the best contrasts for unifying things. What do you think, Sunny?
Inks are good too. Like I've been using the Inkintensity set from Scale 75. Inktense Wood and Inktense Chestnut are very nice filters that you could use to create that leather look too. The wood actually is a very nice sort of yellow brown, which is close to... One
sec.
Yeah, so the what is that? Yeah, it's very close to the snakebite leather contrast. And you can get more depth by introducing a more sort of red brown like the chestnut in certain areas, because I see that the brown that you've used is a neutral brown, yeah, but it is closer to sort of the reddish color rather than the yellow tone.
Yeah. So leather has a much more sort of yellowish tone, at least most traditional leathers.
Yes.
Right. The other thing is, so here with your red in here, right? It matches a bit too much with the red skin here.
Yeah. So with the like a nice sort of yellow brown, it will contrast nicely with the red, and it'll bring focus back onto all those scratchings that you've done.
Oh, so that's not what I meant. Like this compared to that. What I meant is, see this red right here in the this isn't checker. What would you call this? Marking. Triangle markings?
We'll just call it triangle.
Yeah. So with these triangle markings here, right, you might notice that the red you have here is of a very similar tone to the red you've got here. So just pick a color profile. Doesn't matter whether you're going more along the orange-red route or the, purple-red route, but just basically... I just changed the colors a bit. Like, because you got black over there, you can probably even just put a contrast filter over that. But yeah, essentially, there's nothing wrong with this. But see, the color matches too much to this. So, like, the eye just sort of looks at it and goes, what's up there? But I think overall... it's really good. But These don't come across as much as fur to me. What do they come across as?
I guess a bit closer to straw, but that's mostly the sculpt, not the paint job.
What is the stuff that, you know, they've sometimes got on the cowboy or the Indian stuff where it's like
fringes.
Sorry?
Fringes.
Yeah. Leather fringes?
Yeah.
Leather fringes. Skirt. I don't know why I typed a question mark. Yeah, it looks more like a leather fringe, particularly like this sort of thing. Cowboy. Yeah, much more like this. But like Sunny says, I don't think that's you. I think that's the sculpt.
Mm-hmm.
But there is one thing that I've said many, many times on here, which is try not to fight your sculpt, because some of the times like that'll go poorly. So maybe you could push into that. It's up to you. It's your creation. We're just trying to give appropriate level feedback.
Yeah.
Would you like to read out some of what the people have said?
Right. Apparently Liam likes the red skin and he thinks it looks rad, and he thinks about playing around with that for a new mini that he's working on. Jack says, then do it! And Liam said red and blue seem to be the strongest contenders. And Jack says the yellowing on leather is caused by light exposure.
Alright, so oh my good lord. Let us move on before Facebook continues to Facebook.
Hey, we've got Larry.
Yep.
Fire! Thinned zealot yellow over the yellow primer. Highlighted with bismuth yellow and fluorescent yellow and a few dots of white. A little bit of fluorescent thinned and applied on the top areas of the hair for a little reflectivity. Winter ground texture on the base with some blue to mark where I didn't want ground paste. Have to let it finish drying before going on. Yeah, I will have to say that the fire really looks more defined now. And that I think it really brings the piece all together.
But I think we see this finished up a little bit further on, don't we?
Perhaps. We shall see.
We shall see. Alright, so next up we have
Connie. Hello! I'm fairly new to the group. I have been working on my Stormcast Eternal Spearhead and would like some feedback on my whip, Lord Vigilant on Griftstalker, please. So, first thing we've got to figure out now is, are you going for tabletop or character?
So go into the comments and see if they did any answers.
Okay, so Batch Painter's
Why
asking...
Why is there an angry face?
I don't know why there's angry, but maybe it's a mistaken...
I think it is a mistaken, because I know who it is, and like...
Yes, I'm very sure that person did not mean to make it an angry face. Sometimes I accidentally put the wrong emojis.
Yeah, no, because I know that person, and all they ever do is put in support, so I'm certain that they have just misclicked.
Yeah. Okay, so Batch Painter asks, what sort of feedback are you after? What level of painting are you pushing for? Very good. That's also what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, and that's basically what I said. Like, we'll do the weekly stream. Do you have the link for the stream?
Yeah, I think it was posted upstairs.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you've got the link, if you could just
yeah, I've got the link right here.
Just say we're giving feedback.
Okay. We'll go back there.
Alright, so here's my biggest thing, right? Now, I don't know whether you're going for tabletop or character, right? Now, of course, everybody's tabletop and everybody's character level are different, right? But here is what I see when it comes to the difference, right? First off, you've got some good things going for you, right? Like, I think the blue against the brown is very good, right? Because you've got some strong contrast. I think that the purple, however, isn't very vibrant. It doesn't have a rich amount of color. It looks as if you're shading with a highlighting with a desaturated purple, right? Rather than a very sort of vibrant purple. So what happens is, once you've done that, because with the brown, you've highlighted up into a bone, which is fine. That's great. Like, that's a perfectly fine color pairing, right? But when you do it for this, right, what you get is a lot of desaturation, right? And when it comes to Age of Sigmar, they're meant to be more fantastical, they're meant to be more out there. So what you've got is these very sort of vibrant ideas clashing up against realistic ones, which can be good. Like, you got the blue of this tail, you know, with these blue horns, right? That looks great. But the purple, it just lacks that pop which you want. So what you probably want to do is you probably want to use like a more vibrant color for your purple highlight. So this is more like a lavender, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want to push probably almost into the magentas. Like, that's the sort of vibrancy that you want popping, right? As for the colors with the golds and such, right, they're fine, but once again, they've got the same sort of issues that the purples do, right? So what we've got is we've got this gold against this brown here, right? And it's got almost the exact same values, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of values, right, let's take a look here with your head. Now, see, the whole idea of having a distinction in values is to make everything more recognizable. So I think this is meant to be like steel or something like that, but it should have a more spectacular level of difference. So when you've got this, it should be like boom black, right, against this bright gold, rather than, say, the sort of steel that you've got. Like, you can even go like a metallic black, that's fine, but what you want is to sort of step those things up. The other part of it is there's certain things here which, when it comes to it, you can just push, right? Like, for example, along here, it looks as if you've dry brushed this whole area with a sort of bone color. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But see, when you've got this strap here, right, which is meant to be a leather strap, because you haven't changed the color of that, it looks like it's quite easy to see what you've done. And what you want to do is you want to use magic to hide your tricks. So if you just hit this with like a black Templar, if you want it black, or even just a snakebite leather for leather, either way, that's fine, right? Because there's certain things where people will just overlook it, right? For example, this gap here, right? I have made this model. This is a very difficult model to make. Like, where do we have it? Oh, you want me to?
Yeah. So this is the purple coloration profile.
Yeah.
So on the right. Sorry, on the right is basically what we're saying, going up in saturation and vibrancy. So you can see at each step the color is rich. But on the left is what you've gone for, where you've chosen the color, which is that lavender color at the middle, the mid-tone, and then you sort of mixed white into that color to get your highlight and black into that color to get your shadows, and that's desaturating the color. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just doesn't really pop. So if you want something to pop, you want to go into saturation shading rather than value shading.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
and that's really important when you want to contrast against natural things. Do you want to go into that for a second, Sunny?
Yeah. So we've got the Griff Stalker. It's a natural color. It's lots of browns, lots of tans, and you've also got Gold Armor, which actually blends quite a fair bit into the Griff Stalker because it's a brown profile. Gold is a brown/yellow profile. So that's going to blend right into your bird. So if you have unnatural materials like fabric and you give that contrast of kind by making it well, technically it's not a contrast of kind, it's a contrast of color. So if you go into that sort of saturation to show like, hey, this is a different material because it's inorganic, and my organics are more desaturated because that's how colors are in nature. So you've got the feathers being more natural, and then you've got the fabric being more saturated. It'll just bring more attention to the cape and the guy riding the Griff Stalker. Right now, everything's sort of a big blob of browns.
Yeah, so, like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open the image in a new tab, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite of what I usually do. So I had it zoomed in on 300, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to zoom right out. So we're at 25 now, right? So in part, this is the photo stuff, right? That you don't have a definitive background. That's okay. You know, we've got videos on how to take better photos, but that's not the point of this exercise. The point is, right, from this far away, this is our sort of 3-foot rule. What is distinct? And see, we should be able to have a greater level of distinction, right? At what point did you recognize that this has a gold part on here? Right? At what point? And that's kind of my point.
I think it also doesn't help that there's a lot of things in the background.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the how to take photos.
But I will just send this one through as well.
Oh, you want me to take a look at that?
I think my thing has stalled. Oh, yeah, it's stalled.
Okay, all right. Well, we will move on then. But yeah, we hope that feedback's useful, and we hope that you can get something out of it. All right, so next up, we have Batch Painter, who doesn't love us.
Nothing's crashed.
It's alright. There's nothing to read because he didn't write anything here on our one. See, it's just sadness. But it's alright. Batch Painter helps out a lot. He's a good bloke. So let's take a look. So.
Okay. My whole computer's frozen.
Well then, Sonny, can you see everything over here?
So, Courtney, so take a look at this, right? He's used the exact same purple profile that you've used on your cape, but he's brought a lot of attention to the purple by framing it nicely with more saturated colors on the side. Like the greens are nice and vibrant, the oranges are nice and vibrant, and it's encompassed in the middle with that sort of desaturated purple as a breaker. So you go saturated, desaturated, saturated again. So it's like a nice little sandwich.
Yeah. It's about framing. Like that's the big thing here, right?
Yes.
But I do like some of the things that he's done, very tiny little details, right? And when I say oh my good lord, I freaking hate Facebook. I hate Facebook more than anything in the world. If we...
Good morning, Jack. Hey, Batch Painter, you're here. Just in time.
But yeah, I think all of this is good. I don't think there's anything that he really wants to change around here. Man, they're such freaks, but this is what I was...
little froggy.
Yeah, this is the thing that I wanted to point out, which is really lovely. But I think
you did a great job giving that sort of translucent look to the...
Yeah.
To the... the croaking bubble thing that they do.
I
don't know.
I guess throat.
Throat.
Yeah, so I think... Like, here is great, because it is a bit zoomed out from the zoom in that we've got. Like, the framing, like, if you looked here, right, I don't even have to really do it, but we take a look at this image and we do what we did before, right? Even at this distance, we can see clearly the patches of orange, right? There's nothing there where when you look at it you go, oh, was that meant to be something else? Right? Like, even so at this distance, it's a tiny bit hard to recognize the difference between the yellow and the orange of the feather. That's about it. Right? But I mean, like, one zoom in and you're done.
Yeah, you can see the profile very clearly there.
And that's essentially what we were talking about with Courtney. Like, that's what you want to do, the framing, right?
Well, Batch Painter says still have a lot of work to go, going to push all the colours way higher.
I'm sure you are, right? But what we were trying to do was use you as an example to say, like, here, like when we go back to Courtney, so I'll go back here for a second, right? So when we look here, right, it's a bit hard to distinguish between the gold and the browns, right? And then when we go over here, right, like I said, so even if we're way zoomed out, okay, we're way zoomed out. So here, very tiny picture. We go back to Courtney's one, right? Much bigger picture, right? And we still have trouble with that distinction.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what you've got to look at doing. Look at do. Jeez.
Look at doing.
So just have that intentionality and just realize those sorts of things. So having gold against brown isn't bad, so long as you have that value distinction, right? Having purple against this is great if it isn't desaturated, if it's vibrant. It's about having those levels of distinctions. But yeah, I think it's all looking good. There's nothing there where I'm like, So we'll move on. Alright, so next up we've got Andy.
Yeah. Working on the Ugni Goblin horror movie Blood Bowl team. Nearly finished Pennywise, but I'm thinking of repainting the bomb to look like a red balloon. Thoughts, please. That's actually pretty clever.
Yeah, no, I think that's... Yes, I'm just going to type...
What you should
red.
do is, I think there's a red gem effect paint. I forget what the color name is.
So, I think, unfortunately, it's not great because of the sculpt, but I think what would have been more ideal is if, you know, he had it looking like a balloon, like it was floating up, but it's got the thing up the top. But I think red balloon, yes, it's a good idea.
But I'm saying that he should use the red gem effect paint because he's got that silver base, so it'll look like candy.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you say try like a transparent candy red or something like that.
Yeah, but it's specifically the gem effect one because it's sort of more gloopy, like a.
I know
texture.
the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
there's also transparent reds in other brands.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
such.
Tamiya.
Okay, so Batch Painter
Clear
has
red.
also said some things.
Also, really appreciate the feedback so far.
Separation of elements.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like the thing is, we know it's a way off yet, but I mean, it's going in the right direction, and I think at this stage when you're not there, that's where you need to sort of go. All right, I'm hitting the targets. That's all right, because I was thinking we should do a members video about levels of distinction and just talk about, because we went from showcase level to tabletop, and now we're gonna have to go back to showcase level again, and like the difference in mindset that you have to have.
Yeah.
But I think that's about it. Because like that's the feedback he's asking for. The only thing that I would say is that I think you could make the white of the face a cleaner white rather than the dirty white that you've got. So his costume has a lot of warm browns, but his face paint itself is...
Batch Painter actually recommends using SMS paint, where they have some metallic candy paints.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're mostly for airbrush and not with this, because you'll have to paint it manually by brush.
Or either that, or he could do a hell of a lot of masking.
No thanks. I think it's probably just easier to use a gem effect paint.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yes. So I just think he could do like the whites a bit cleaner on the face. But that's about it.
I think that the dirty look adds to the horror.
Do you?
Yeah. But I guess for the face in particular, it wouldn't hurt to have a cleaner white. And then everywhere else, he can have sort of dirty white with the shoes and the wherever else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let us move on to what have we got next? Oh, it's me. It's Member Monday. All right. It's Member Monday. Hashtag Member Monday. What makes a digital place? This place has no soil, no fresh water streams bringing people together, nor anything that drives people together regardless of circumstance. You are all here by choice, and I think because of that we have a great community here. We have painters of every level, from the highest of the high to people just getting stuff done. Everyone is welcome here because here we are one thing first and last. We are hobbyists, and I think that is what makes this place what it is. Alright, let us move on to Josh Docking.
That's what I thought. I recognized this little piece. Been off the painting track for a while, but finally got Pack on the horse last night.
Pack on the horse?
A Pack on the horse. Added another section to my display board and started painting up Moff Gideon. That's his name?
Moff Gideon?
Moff Gideon?
Oh, this guy, yeah.
My god. From Shatterpoint. Oh, so it's a Star Wars
Yeah,
film.
yeah. Did you not recognize the Star Warsy names?
No, actually. I thought it was still going in theme.
What is that terrible Star Wars name? I'm going to look it up now. Give me a second.
Oh, it was, what's his face's mother? What's his, not Arthur Pendragon, what am I thinking? Skywalker.
Oh.
His mum. His mum's name, he had the stupid name. The horrible name.
No, like, they've all got terrible names. Like,
no, but her name in particular was horrible.
Well, you know what the, the Emperor's name is, like, Shiv or something.
What?
Yeah.
Is that what it means, or is that what?
No, like that's his name.
Well, it's Anakin's mum's name. Oh my god, what is this? Alan Sleaze Bagano? What the heck?
Jack Porkins.
Okay, that sounds like a normal name.
No, there's
It's Anakin's mom. Search Anakin's mom name.
One sec. Oh,
Glupshido.
yeah, that's the one that they always say. But I'll look up
Anakin's mom's name.
Shmee. Shmee Skywalker.
Oh my god. But that's like Mr. Shmee from... what? Is that a Disney? Captain Hook is Anakin's father. Oh no. Oh
yeah,
my
see,
god.
it's Sheev.
Sheev Palpatine. Oh.
Like, they're all terrible. Every last one of their names is...
Is that his name? Like I thought it was something else. It wasn't. Because it's always Chancellor Palpatine. It's not like no one's ever says his real name.
Yeah.
Shivdog. Shivdog. Oh my god!
It's absolutely awful. But anyway, we'll go back to this.
So Mr. Moff Gideon.
Yeah, no, Moff is the title.
Do Moff love me or not?
What is wrong with you?
Give
feedback.
Okay. I'm experimenting with gloss black using blue/green paints, but I don't think it's working quite well. We'll go back and try some more later on, but this is all I did last night, warming back up into it. So you want a gloss black, is that right? I'm experimenting with gloss black. So do you want to create the effect of a glossy black look?
With the blues.
With blues and the greens? Well, we'll have to take a look at what Moff Gideon actually looks like. What does he look like? What is his color scheme? This is
He looks done with life. Look at this.
That's the famous actor for looking very done with things. What's his
he looks like he looks like Vader. Oh my god, this is the most terrible miniature I've ever seen.
So I see one that's got a blue uniform, blue and red.
Just
it does not capture his face.
Because like it's got the heroic scale, right? So his head looks like a bit of a bobblehead.
Look at this.
What is it?
Because I think, oh my god. I think if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see it. Oh yeah, what is this? Is this to mock the miniature?
It's so tiny. Why is the picture so tiny? Why do they always make the pictures so tiny?
Because it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Right, so Moff Gideon often has... Oh my good lord! That is like from the Clone Wars type of... Is this from the Clone Wars animation?
Oh my god!
Now it just feels twice as ridiculous because I thought it was like a Photoshop to make him look silly, but it turns out this is the real deal, guys.
I don't think it is the real deal, but yeah, like he really just looks like he's in Vader's sort of armor.
Yes.
So
in this one, in like the posters, it's like a black.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks like the picture. You've got that sort of satiny black finish. And then he's got like a mix of some glossy elements, but it's all black. It's just black everywhere, man.
Rumble's comment has it. Nice to meet you. My name is Shark Jumper.
Wait. Where is it? Okay, wait. I just gotta find it. He also had a Shmee. Pleased to meet you. My name is Drub Shark Jumper. Yeah, there you go.
So as for the blues, I think they're a bit too bright for the blue that you want. Like, you can leave that as like sort of an edge highlight if you want to like use black to pull it back. So you go like do your black so that you leave a line, if you understand what I'm saying.
Uh,
But yeah,
I don't know. I think it looks like.
Okay, alright, sure.
I don't really see the issue.
Alright, we will move on then.
Oh, look at this. What was that fancy? Blue Horror by
That was Lee
G. Was a fun, fast little project. Oh, yes. Oh, very lovely character level horror.
You know, no matter the level of rhyming with Lee G's name, there is no... He's no drub shark jump.
He is no glum shitto.
It's...
I would like to be a Shmee. I am a Shmee.
You know what? I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you do all the feedback.
Yeah. As per usual, Lee has done a very good job of doing that sort of saturation highlighting. So in this case, he's actually done purple in the shadows, moving up to a nice sort of cobalt blue, a saturated cobalt blue, and then finishing off with a lighter version of that blue. But I wouldn't say it's like pushing it into the cyan or anything. It's more just like mixing that blue into a white, and that works. That's plenty of
I think
goodness.
It's good.
And I love how you use the sort of orange and going into the yellow for the eyes. It really creates that separation. And the blade is really good. The gold work is excellent. I'm just trying to think about... You've done a little bit of a blue tint at the tip of that dagger there. I'm just wondering if that was... Yeah, I guess it could be good because it's reflecting the skin into
the light.
The light.
I think either way it's good. You know,
very clean, very distinct.
I also noticed that he's used a bit of analogous shading with the purples.
That's what I mentioned. Yeah. So I think
it's just good. There's nothing where there's no feedback here which I think would be useful. There's nothing here where if I gave feedback, do I think I'd actually be adding to it? I just like it. It's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like it's a bit disappointing because you know it's such a good model that we're just like, it is. Well done.
It's a good model.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right. Next up, we got Nicholas Miller.
Painted this Trench Crusade mini at the Army Painter Hobby Hangout at Adepticon on Saturday.
So I would assume by the fact that it's the Army Painter Hobby Hangout that he had a limited amount of time.
A limited amount of paints?
Probably. I wouldn't say a limited amount of paints, but a limited amount of time. So, let me just put the curtain up for a second and I'll find out. Alright. Do you just want to comment on it while I see?
Yeah. So, Trench Crusade is very popular for being a grimdark style. So it really depends. It's a bit hard to say or figure out which direction you go in with, because with the grimdark style, they don't really go with those very poppin' colors that you have chosen here, like the blues and the reds. They're very striking, and then you've got these very natural tones with the helmet and the weapons and the boots. So it's conflicting a lot.
So I think with this one, I'm just gonna take down the curtain now. He's had about 90 minutes to get all of this done.
Right. Okay. So I think it needs a unifying factor here. So you've got like lots of saturation in some places, and then like goes way onto the other side of the scale with the desaturation with the helmet and the weapons and the shoes. So it feels a bit haphazard.
I'd say that it looks like you got blocking in.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, And there's nothing wrong with just getting blocking in, right? It all depends on, like, where you're aiming for and so on, right? So, like, what I'd like to see is an update to this, and hopefully you can just tell us how long you spent on it, that sort of thing, because this is part of the game, right? That, like, how long you spend on something is important. Like, and what your goals are. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so next up we have Sebastian.
Hey,
I don't know why I mispronounced Sebastian.
Sebastian. It's the Shmee in you.
Yes, the Shmee has gotten to me.
The Shmee has gotten us. Anyhow, working on my scout squad for my Space Marine army. I'm still missing one guy, but I'll get there eventually. Hey, this kind of looks like that one picture, that one artwork with the different Space Marines and the different colors.
Well, what I really like, this is, I really wish we saw more of this shot, because it looks like the helmet's broken open and like there's a bit of skull revealed. But the way, so like this might be a bit of golden angle trickery, but I want to see what's on the
other
one
side.
Yeah. I think that would look really cool. So this looks good thus far.
Are these very old models, or they're just Corvus pattern armor here?
I'm not sure. No, I think these just Corvus pattern armor. So it looks like he's got some mentors, Raven Guard. He's got a few different people here, so I don't know what's going on. Is this a
Chaplain?
No, Legion of the Damned? Like, I don't know what's going on. So I'd say like things look good thus far, but what I would really, really like to see is these in a photo booth.
Yeah, because you've got some really wonderful decal work there.
Well, not just decal work, like there's some really interesting work, and like...
And the pauldrons are so interesting.
But he seems to be very good at posing. I just think that, like, what I would really like to see is, like, just hear a bit more about where he's going and, you know, so on. But yeah, we'll see in the near future, because like there's nothing here where I go, all right, well that definitely needs to be done or anything like that. So here's essentially the problem that I see, right? I don't know what you're doing, right? So
we need more context into what.
Yeah, but okay. So let me be clear by saying I don't know what you're doing, right? You've got different Space Marines from different chapters, right? But also, the basing changes on some of them. Like over here on this guy, he's in a different context to the rest of them, so you don't have unified basing for all of them, right? So, like, is this meant to be sort of a kill team situation where you've got, you know, all of these different guys working on one team? Or is this, because, like, that's the thing. You've got to have some sort of, if you're going to have them as an army, some sort of visual unifier. But yeah, so let us move on. Yeah. Unless there's anything you want to add.
I think I would like to know more about the story behind the models. Like, okay, this is meant to be from this chapter or something, and is there's more context, more what foot you're going for. Alright, so next we have back to Larry. Not much time to paint tonight. Still allergy season, but I added some snow and water. Resin is cured, but I need to let the snow dry before moving on to finishing touches on it.
Yeah. Look, it's looking good. It's looking good. So Soilworks is the Scale 75 brand.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I do think it's a little awkward, like having that nice sort of fluffy snow next to just water there. Like, why is it suddenly water?
I'm. Well, let's see once it's all sort of done. Right, then we will judge. All right, so next up we've got some more from Larry.
It's globbering time. Sorry, clobbering time.
Clobbering.
Yeah, Ben Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing is done. Sure, it wouldn't win awards, but I'm really happy with them. Sometimes Ben has to fight the Hulk, but they're really friends. Accidentally hit the RGB button when I went to turn off the light and ended up with some cool pics under blue and magenta light. We shall see. Oh yeah! Check this out.
It looks like the Hulk has just like the goofiest smile in the world. He's like,
he does. He's the unlocked character at the moment because he's like looks like a shadow in the background.
Oh, you mean the locked character?
Yeah, locked character.
Yeah.
Everyone else is partying. Oh my god.
This one's terrible. You can hardly see anything.
But at least like the Human Torch came out quite interesting with the UV.
Yeah, I think that Ben came out good.
Really good.
Yeah.
I think you've done such a great job with all the Marvel characters, honestly.
We'll see, like I said, remember once he's on that base, he's got those levels of separation.
Yeah.
I think, which really helps him. So I think all of that looks good. Like, I like all of that. Yeah, I just can't help seeing the this picture with the goofy smile. Just him like. But let us move on. I think Larry's done a great job with him. I don't think that there's much more that I can really say on that one.
Yeah. Next we have Duarte Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
After not having the time or energy to paint for like a year and a half, I finally got back in the saddle. I recently finished painting my mech collection and I'm pretty chuffed with how this came out. Especially as something I did take the rust off. Now to figure out what's the next part of my grey pile shame I want to tackle.
Yeah, no, it's looking good thus far. Very consistent.
Yeah. I could consider it character level with how much sort of details you put in with the chippings and all that.
Well, I'm going through and the thing that I note the most is the consistency.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest problems with MechWarrior is scale. So when you're trying to show off these huge guys, you got to remember these aren't even normal human height. So these are probably double regular human because they're in powered armor and all of that sort of nonsense, right? So you've got to remember how massive these things are. So like this leg maybe half the size of a human leg. So it's very hard to get a good base consistency.
Yeah.
But I think this basing looks good for a sort of war-torn area, right? But what I'd like you to focus on is, so this is where we start, right? I think probably this is my favorite of them, but going through, what we have is like just an intense consistency between each of them because remember, a lot of the time you don't have guides as to how to paint these like you would with Warhammer and such. Like, there's no Space Marine 752 to check against your work.
Yeah.
Right? So, with these guys, they're very consistent, even with some very different models. So, like, we've got all of these sort of very humanoid-looking ones, right? And how he sort of does red striping on one side. But take a look at this guy over here, right? And so he doesn't have that sort of body. It's sort of like the end of a plane at the end of it as its body. And you see that with this thing right here as well. But the theming's kept fairly consistent, right? Across all of them. And I think that's very impressive. As for feedback, I guess my biggest bit of feedback would be the troopers here feel a bit out compared to everything else because they got this green sort of look.
Yeah.
Instead of the blue and red. I'm not enough of a BattleTech aficionado to know whether like these guys have different colored ground troops or like they don't have ground troops, so these are actually from a different faction or something like that. I do have some bits of advice though. So the thing that I noticed on most of these is there is something that detracts from all of these models. And it has nothing to do with the painting of the models itself, but rather this front face where you put the yellow, right? So you can see the black underneath with it. So here's my suggestion from now on, right? What you do is just tape these bases off at the very, very start of it, right? Blast them with yellow there, then tape that off, mask it, whatever, and then, paint up everything else so that you've got a nice block of yellow. Because it's like, it's a shame, but it's just human nature to sort of be pattern recognition-y and take a look at that rather than all of this awesome work. Because I think that all of this looks great. Yeah, maybe just hit it with a few more coats or something like that. Because there's nothing here where I look at the actual paint jobs or even the basing, and I am the basing sort of guy, where I look at it and I'm like, oh, that definitely needs to be fixed. I think all of that looks good. Sonny, is there anything that you want to say before we move on?
Yeah, I think that, like you said, it's very consistent. I think it's got a great battle damagey theme. Like, I would be very happy to have a model set like this if I'm versing someone. I think this really adds to the verisimilitude and everything like that. So I think you put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into it. And I'm excited to see what you will approach next for your pile of shame, because clearly you put effort.
Alright. Yeah. Let us move on. So the next one is us.
Whip Wednesday.
It's Whip Wednesday. Hashtag Whip Wednesday. We, Sonny and I, have been very busy doing up a whole lot of D&D models, trying to get things done while we have everything else on. Because why not take on more, right? Also, a bandit has gone missing, and it ran away. It's very annoying because we had it painted up and everything, and I literally don't know where it went. Also, here's a boatload of guys, all tabletop quality. So, we did not find the bandit, and we had to do up a new bandit. And so we have done up a new bandit. And he is done now. But, here are guys, they're just tabletop level. We finished basing them today, but we didn't get all of the photos done before we went on, so I guess that will be the start of next week. I would have really liked to get the photos done today, but sometimes things don't go the way you want them to. So let us move on.
Next, we've got Paul. Hello, my name is Paul. I'm out in Spruce Grove, Alberta, and during the winter shutdown, I paint minis. This year has been a slow year. Been working on blending, planning color schemes, and getting ready to paint a Star Wars Legion army. However, last weekend was Adepticon, and from the War Machine address / presentation, I learned that Meneth will be back as a faction in some way. I didn't get the full details yet, but it was a welcome news to myself. That I have a mountain of Meneth unpainted and collecting dust is purely a coincidence. So, while I will be adding photos of the other minis I am working on, though I would start off with the Meneth Repenter Warjack that I started on this morning. Half of the base coats are done, just a couple more to do before a wash, using the Vallejo Game Color line of products here. Over top a Stynel Res Primer. Stynel Res Primer. Hope you enjoy. If you have questions, comments, and / or critiques, fire away. Always trying to get better.
Yeah, no, so my brother had a Meneth army back in the day, but it's probably the worst wargaming experience we ever had. We versed some freebooters, we were trying to learn the game, and this guy literally took out a tier 1 army against my brother, and my brother almost won against him. Mind you, this is my brother's first sort of time playing, and yeah, so unfortunately I have a bit of a bitter taste when it comes to these. So the reason I put that out is because essentially I don't want to, like, our highest value is honesty, and there is a good chance that my view will be tainted. So if you think like something might be, a little miss, like, that might be why. But when I look at these, right, the biggest problem I have with these, right, now, yeah, it might just be sort of the current stage of it, but I'd say that the gold and the red and everything else is way too bright. Like, if you plan on doing an overall wash, right, with oils and, like, you're going to grime it up and stuff like that, great. But also, yeah, like, that's basically my biggest thing. What about you, Sonny? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, if you're going for tabletop, I think it doesn't hurt to go a bit brighter because you want things to pop on the table. But I think focusing on depth is the most important thing. And because you started out pretty bright, it's going to be a bit difficult to sort of work your way back from that. Because, like, these should be like your highest points of color. So you'll need a lot of shadows to help define it a bit more.
So yeah, like, so pretty much the same sort of thing as me, but
yeah.
Okay, all right. So yeah, if you're going for the grimdark style, this is a perfectly fine way to start out, because you're going to use oils and all of that to bring it back down a lot. But otherwise, I'm a bit worried about how bright we're starting out. Okay, let us move on.
Paul again, sorry, wasn't sure if I should do individual posts per
Yeah,
mini
no, totally,
or
man.
one
It's okay.
With multiple minis on it. If I've botched this, please let me know. This next mini is an Orc Rocker. The Iron Modern from Wargames Crew IIRC. I will check to confirm. First time freehanding a checker pattern. Might just go with solid purple bit. Please let me know any thoughts on that. Currently, I have done most base coats and some highlights. Guitar/weapon is the current focus of my work. The flag has been bothersome. My hands shake after a while, so it's very slow progress. Will likely use pigment powders or ink/washes to give some muddy stains on the flag where it's getting problematic. The face is halfway there, just practicing on a test mini for glowing eyes, plus the teeth need working on, and there needs to be a couple more highlight layers of green skin. Overall, I like the progress and complexity of the mini. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to speak out. Again, I need to get better at explaining my process or work. Stylorez primer and all paints used from the Vallejo game color line. Take care. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, definitely feels super Union Jacky. I think you've got like a good handle on the color schemes there. I think the checker patterns turned out really good.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well, but please continue.
Yeah, so I mean, these feel very, very UK, I guess. The red and the blue with the yellow trim.
Yeah, it does feel very sort of British soldier.
Yeah. So I think you nailed the vibes. I think all you have to do at this point is maybe do a bit of cleanup here and there.
So the only thing that I would say, right, is when I take a look at this, don't worry about the flag. The flag is looking pretty good. I wouldn't even bother dirtying it up because it's very sort of orky. This is very sort of original 40k punk sort of thing. You know, where they had that very sort of distinctive. It wasn't. It's sort of similar to that surfer vibe. One sec. I'll see if I can find it. Do you remember that sort of surfer painting vibe? Surfer painting vibe. Style. I'll see if. No, that's not it. That's more like new age. I'll say classic. Maybe they'll have it. Going with tongue sticking out. So this is kind of what we're looking at. Kind of.
Like tiki art or something?
Is that what it's called? Is that called tiki art?
Like that feels like it.
Tiki art. Oh, no, I've got to. Why must you be like this? No. So you know where he's always got the graffiti art, tongue sticking out, classic wheels. Yeah, so it was sort of like this one, but I'll see. Yeah, so this is a bit newer, but I'll show the picture in a second. So this is sort of a newer version of it, but because like this is a lot smoother, but like they used to have stuff like this. I'll see if I can like sort of Google lens this to find sort of stuff like this. Yeah, like
well, Liam says, oh, Ratfink.
Oh. Ratfink art. Yes, this is the this is sort of the American side of it, right? But like there was sort of a like a sort of British punk sort of style of it that was around the time that Games Workshop was really doing their thing. So, like, he has, like, this really bumpy, ugly face, right? And so, like, I think that looks really good because, you know, there'd be some guy with, like, the bumpy, ugly face, but he'd have, like, the proper hair sort of thing.
Is it, like, caricature or something?
Yeah, kind of, but this is sort of, like, kind of the style. It was around the time that they were making stuff like this.
I remember that episode of Hogan's Heroes.
But yeah, so like they'd have stuff like this, and I think like that works really well. Like, I don't think that there's really much that I think, like, just do the strings here. You don't want this to be glossy. You want it to be matte.
So just put some anti-shine or matte varnish on that.
Yeah. And it also depends on whether you want to do the sort of caricature of the British soldier, and if that's the case, you want it to be a bit darker, a bit more navy, or he can be wearing jeans, which is another kind of caricature. But yeah,
it feels more punk too.
Yeah, and see. I wonder if, like, if I can sort of British punk art 70s. I don't really have the actual art here. They've got, like, posters and stuff. Yeah, a lot of this isn't how it actually was. Like, yeah, this is and stuff, right? But this is definitely AI stuff rather than like the actual. Oh, that's open image. We'll see. So, like, it'd be stuff like this, sort of like really detailed but mutated and stuff like that. It's this very sort of particular vibe. Oh, what is it? Motley Crue? Who's the guy with the skeleton? Union Jack. Let's see if there. That's not who has that one?
Iron Maiden?
Ah, yes, Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden. Thank you. So what the hell? Women in uniform. Oh no. Yeah, so this sort of look. So I think he's very much sort of going for this sort of look. Right? And like if he's going for that sort of look, that sort of British 80s punk rock, you know, F the establishment and all that, I think very much hitting the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Alright. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Alright. Next off, we've got some beautiful My Little Pony pictures.
More Trench Boys this week. I took on board the feedback and went back to revise with the color video. It definitely helped a lot. I found that the lieutenant from last week was looking kind of orange rather than red, and I think it has clicked now. Thank you. Anyway, went back to apply this to the sorcerer with some bright poppy red highlights on the middle section and around the hands. The fire still looks a little off, but a yellow glaze on the transition seemed to have helped.
Fire's really hard.
Yeah. helped a little along with some orange dry brushing to try and sell the glow of the fire. Left old, right new. I think it's getting there slowly, but needs a little more time in the oven, especially over the table he is holding. The brazen bull is the next project, just starting. I'm trying to get a pallid unnatural flesh to it with a diluted purple contrast paint over some pale flesh, but it is early days. There is a lot of edges to the armor and big muscles on this, so hopefully a chance to practice the edge highlighting and volumes mentioned before.
Okay, so first off, amazing level of progress. So, Sunny, do you want to give any commentary here?
Okay, so he said left is the old and right is the new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like I can see that yellow come through a lot more across the whole model, which shows that sort of OSL effect. And really it really gives it that sort of creepy look too. And I think the fire is looking good. I think you can bring back a bit of those whites, but I think this is satisfactory in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the things that I want to say. So first off, the most important thing is this, right? Don't torture yourself. You might be playing Trench Crusade, but you don't have to do it in real life, right? So when it comes to this, here's some of the things that you've got to remember, which are really important, right? One, nothing happens instantly, right? So like that's really important. Thank you. And the other part is that when I look at this, right, massive jump. Don't spend all your time on this one model, right? Keep improving, right? And maybe use this as your base. Let's say 6 months down the line, a year down the line, you redo this model and you'll see how far you've progressed. Right? Because it's 3D printed, you know, won't have to cost you an arm and a leg, that sort of thing. Here is what you can do to improve it instantly. So remember that humans are pattern recognition machines. Okay? Like I was saying with the guy earlier, right? You've done some lovely painting, some character level painting for Mech Warrior, right? So you see how this has sort of just, like, it appears to be floating on the base?
Yeah.
And not floating in the good way where it's, like, up in the air and that sort of thing, right? So what you want to do is just get some of your mud, whatever you use for it, and just smear it around the edges so that everything's integrated. Remember, it's going to be little things like this, and after that, I wouldn't touch this model at all. Leave it, and this is going to be your sort of new standard, right? You're going to look at this and you're going to go, all right, here is where I want to be at. Now, there are some things that I could say, like, all right, here you can do this, and that will improve this a little bit. Don't focus too much on a singular model. All right, Sunny, what do you think of My Little Pony?
Well, I think the palette flesh is a good start. Like, I think if you highlight your way up into, like, really pale skin tones, using that purple as the base shadowing, it'll really turn out good. Yeah, like it just looks like you're doing some base coating here. Very clean, so you know, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, alright. Well, hopefully that feedback is helpful, George. Alright, so next up, it's more of us.
D&D stuff.
So here are, what are these things
I'll
called?
call them the demo pets.
The demo pets.
Yes.
I see.
You got demo dragon. You got a demo dog. You got a demo bat. And a demo gorgon. And we've got some dragons, which
You
we've
did
updated.
some more work on this one, didn't
Yeah,
you?
we updated it. Because the client really liked the bronze dragon and the detailing on that. And he wanted us to do a bit more on the reds for the red dragon.
It's very funny because, like, I did use a reference for both, but yeah. Alright, so some rats and a dog. All looking very mutated. This is basically straight out of the 3.5 book. This one too. And, hey, did we not get the front shot of the eye boy? We just had the back
I
shot.
did take the picture.
It's alright. We'll have them all in the next one. Alright. Let us move on to Chris Shah.
Really enjoying vehicles at the moment. Good enjoyment versus time spent versus points painted. Oh. Well, it looks really good. Very lovely shadowing as per always. Nice striking hazard stripes.
But I wonder why they're on the bases.
I do not know. Maybe he just feels a bit weird having everyone else on a base but not the vehicles.
It's very sort of old hammery.
Yeah. And you got like just those nice subtle scratches there. Just enough that you notice it.
Yeah, so like,
And it's super consistent with everything else he's done.
I feel very bad for Chris here because like we hardly give him any feedback anymore because we're like, this is good, leave it. Like, it matches everything else that he's doing. And like, even like little things like here we go. So you see here, he's integrated the logo and so on.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that. It's never anything crazy, right?
He's grimed it up quite a fair bit here.
Yeah, but see, those are the finished pictures we saw before, right? So it starts out like this, grimes it up, right? And yeah, so we're sort of seeing it in reverse order here. And yeah, I think it looks good. Like there's once again, I feel very bad because like there's nothing here where I go, all right, this, yeah, you can definitely do this. Like there are things that he could do. Like you could do streaking grime coming down from each of these because that's what lands in the soil. So you see these things, right?
Yeah.
That comes down. That's the walkway for them.
Yeah.
So it'll come down. It'll get pulled back up, right? But, of course, some soil and other crud will remain around it, and then that'll slowly come down here.
Yeah.
But, like, there's no need for it.
Yeah. Well, he's going for like a tabletop plus quality.
I don't think it's tabletop plus. I think it's character. I think we should just say that it's character, right? Like I look at it and there's nothing here where I go, all right, that like this needs to be worked on. There's nothing here where I think he needs to put in additional work unless he wants to push to the next level of painting. Right? There's no little thing that he could do here where it'd just instantly sort of up things. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I guess maybe some oil between the tracks to increase that level of separation, I guess. Like, but see, at the moment...
Like, that's just, like, extra work where you don't need it, kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would look good, but I mean, like, I am basically nitpicking at this point. And,
Yeah.
like I said with Joseph's one all that many years ago, it's not that I don't want to criticize or give feedback. It's that if you've hit your goal, you've hit your goal.
Yeah.
Alright, next up we have...
Oh, it's RJ. Bust Whip. I love the blue.
Oh yeah,
The
I feel really, really bad because I said to RJ, "Do you want to hang out?" on a phone call, and then yesterday we slept during the middle of the day. I think because I couldn't get some sleep, and somebody stabbed me in the morning, and you know, alright, I only bled for a little bit.
But I think he really has that photographic quality, especially when you look at it from the front and that angle. It really looks very cinematic. I think this is a sort of classic contrasting colors that really bring that definition.
I think this is sort of very movie-esque. When
they have the dual lighting coming through, you know, like there'll be like red coming from one side and then blue from the other, but this is like blue lighting from the back.
I think he finishes this up later. It looks really nice. Like, I really like the white of the beard and stuff. And don't worry, I had some bloods taken. That's what I was talking about when I got stabbed. But when you start missing some blood, you start getting tired, especially if you didn't get good sleep the night before. Does not help.
Yeah. Looks like a 3D render the way he did it.
It's very, very nice. There's no notes. No notes.
For the time being, anyway.
Alright.
Next we have Tomas. Do you know
Hold
how
up.
to... Oh, yeah.
Did I miss? I have missed. Okay, so... Give me a moment. I have missed 2. Alright. Please continue.
Do you know how to recognize a scale modeler? They spend way too much time to paint things that will not be visible anyway. So here is the cockpit of future Storm Talon gunship I missed painting vehicles.
Yes, we would have no idea about that at all. 0. None. Zilch. There is no reason why the picture isn't moving. I'm definitely not scrolling through anything to find something. Don't worry about it. There's no way I could empathize with such a situation. Definitely there wasn't somebody who spent way too much time doing an interior. Anyway, here is some unrelated pictures. Yes, no idea. 0 zilch. Actually, where's the one of your cockpit? This one? No, that's the
I
front.
think
This is before you even did all of the extra stuff, isn't it?
Oh, this is everything that's finished.
Was it? No, this is like at the very start of it. It's literally the very start. But yes, so we know your pain, my dude, but I think yours looks really, really good.
Yeah, so tiny, all the details.
Very teeny tiny.
Very teeny tiny.
And of course,
if you are able to open the hatch,
wonderful weathering and all of that.
If you're able to sort of open the hatch to show it off, and then I think it's worth it. If you can't, then these are the things that sub-assemblies make you do. They trick you into thinking that things need to be painted when they don't need to be painted.
We had it so that you can take off the glass panel that goes into there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Except it's not glass, it's like clear resin. Cloudy clear resin.
It's so difficult to put in.
Yeah, no, I think it looks absolutely fantastic, man. Like, I think it looks great.
Yeah. So much detail, very good contrast. Everything reads. It's just you look at it and you get lost in the details. You want to see what's next and what's next. So that's the great thing about painting the cockpit. But once you install it, it's like can't see anything.
Yeah. All right. So up next we have
more from RJ. Okay, gonna call this guy Done Fun Bust. Oh yeah, it really has that sort of very cinematic quality about the way that he's painted it. I love the white shading of the beard. There's like beautiful contrast between that sort of blue shadowing going into sort of very red skin tones. That really frames the face, really frames the entire bust.
I think like these little marks along here really accentuate the idea of wrinkles and such. Like even if like they're not actually there on the bust, you know what I'm saying?
Stippling technique to really make his skin look like skin.
Well, not just that, but I'm saying on this side you see here, right, we see like those slight highlights and shadows sort of thing there.
I think that's very difficult to do.
Like, very difficult to pull off. Yeah. Like conceptually, you get the idea, but like actually pulling it off is a different story.
Yeah. Especially transitioning from that sort of blue light going into that sort of really weird off color because it's a blue going mixing into the reds and then coming to like full skin colors.
Yeah, it is.
It can go wrong very quickly. But
yeah,
he pulled it off very well.
Yeah. The only bit of feedback I have is right here. So you see right here with the eye, like the corner of the eye there. I know he's trying to do like that sort of tear duct thing. Like that looks a little off. But other than all of that, like I don't think I've got anything to say. What about you, Sonny?
Yeah, I don't think I have any feedback for him either.
Which is a bit disappointing because it is such a beautiful mini. I think that he's just done bust, I should say.
I mean, just because we don't have feedback for the model doesn't mean we can't appreciate a done model, right? So, I mean, look at that gold work. It's just absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I think he's very good with his non-metallic metal.
Yes.
Really. I think that it's just a nice piece. Like, I really still want to do that diorama with him.
Yes.
Alright, let us move on. So, next up, we've got Josh again.
Repainted up a base for a RWBY figure while I fix it up for my partner. Original style is on the right, mine is on the left, mostly dry brushing with a bit of shading and highlighting to make it look more realistic, but not too realistic so that it still matches with the figure.
So the original is on the right, did he say?
The original style is on the right.
Yeah, and this is his one. This one's definitely more defined, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is bad, but I think like the grooves and such are completely undefined.
Yeah, like, I prefer the way that you've done.
Yeah, because like all of this, like I didn't even know that that was there. I didn't even know that was there on this bit.
Yeah. I think it's worth putting in that extra definition.
Yeah. I like this sort of lighter tone, but I don't like that you completely miss detail like that.
Yeah.
Until he touches it up. So yeah, this is for a Ruby model. I don't know much about the Ruby universe other than that RWBY is pronounced Ruby.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I think it looks good. But we'll see if there's more of this done, because I think this is a 4-piece model. I might be wrong.
Well, next we have John. Spent some time on this Whip Wednesday working on Lamadis for my friend's Blood Angel army. He still has a ways to go, but I'm feeling pretty good about him. The marble basing was fun, but I'm not 100% sold on it. What do y'all think about it and the model as a whole?
So marble basing isn't bad. I wouldn't say it's the best marble that I've ever seen, right? But it does its job as a base. You're focusing on the model. I've found that one of the things that really steps up marble basing has zero to do with the actual level of skill when it comes to the marble, but just adding a gloss coat to it. So I think the model overall got really good blocking. I'd say that I'd want some darker darks. But yeah, like this is sort of more where I'd want the sort of highlight color. But then again, I don't know how the light is affecting things. What about you, Sunny?
I feel like the base could use some dirtying up as well because of how rubbled it is.
Yep, fair.
I feel like it feels too pristine for the way that the condition is at the moment. That's my current thoughts, because I think he's kind of blocked in the colors for the marine itself, and he's gonna perhaps put in more details and shading.
Probably. There's a highly probable chance. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Like, I think the marbling, like, it's not bad. And remember, once everything's framed, things will look very different. Like, once you just, like, clean them up and do, like, a black rim and stuff like that, a lot of sins are forgiven with things like that. Like, at the moment, if, like, see, the thing is that you usually aim for a lot higher, but if you just wanted to do tabletop, you could stop now.
Yeah.
But that's not usually where you stop your stuff. And we have to do a bit of mind reading at times and just sort of go, oh, okay, that's sort of where he, oh my good lord, where he wants to go. You know, like, he wants to go to character level, this guy wants to go to this. So yeah, like, that's pretty much my feedback.
Yeah, I think there's more work to be done.
Alright, so next up, more RJ.
Okay, gonna try some things here. Gonna try using greens as my skin tone undertone. I heard green is magical for skin tones. We'll see if I can do that math. Also, going to be doing not just her sheer fabric, but wet sheer fabric, so that should be fun. Also, we'll attempt wet hair and wet skin for the first time. Also, cast shadows, because why not? So either I'm gonna learn a lot, or this is gonna get put on the shelf as another forever whip quickly. We will see which is soon enough.
I truly hate Facebook. So currently, I'm gonna, as I've been trying to look at some of these pictures, it has gone back to Facebook like 3 effing times.
So this is like blocking in the shadows.
Yeah.
And you can really get the sense of that wetness on the elbows and the skin along the thighs. So I think you're going in the right direction here, RJ.
So green is usually used as an undertone for the skin.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because green obviously contrasts against red, and for most European skin, we've got a lot of red in it. You know, like, people think of it as white, but like when you take a look at it, there is a lot of red in that skin tone, especially when it's against the light.
You got the very lovely sharp shadows around the one side of the face. Then
okay, so that's back to the start. So we'll see where it goes. But I think it's a really good start.
Yeah.
Some of this does look very stuck, but it does feel like very sort of Renaissance painting.
Yeah.
Like, so RJ, unsurprisingly, is pushing himself because, of course, he is. Alright, let us move on to Liam.
Started with the base coat on another mini, but only got as far as that. Definitely put in the time with the Scarecrow though, and I believe it's made quite the difference. Probably gonna want a different shade of reddish brown for the rifle stock. Gotta figure out colors for the clothes too.
I think just leave the clothes as is. I like the clothes where they are. I just leave it as this sort of greyish blue. I think that looks fine.
I think you could highlight up that particular color though. Because it just looks like blocked in for the majority of it at the moment. So I think the color scheme wise is fine. Just keep going with it as your base, but just sort of highlight up whatever you've done.
But yes, do not touch this. I like the rustiness of the blade and such. I think it looks good. Alright, let us move on.
Oh, so we have some progress from Cien.
Mm-hmm.
Not a hell of a lot of progress on the Warhound. Spent this morning reapplying the metallic silvers and the grey to 2/3 of the rear leg, sorry. What stunned me is it came out in my camera's flash gorgeously for once.
It does look very... It looks very sort of workshop metal-y.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I see it. What are your thoughts?
I don't know if that's a bad thing. But I mean, it feels industrial.
It does, but let's sort of see how things go once everything's done up.
Yeah.
Alright. So next up we have
Andy. Some painting this evening. Trying non-Caucasian skin tone again. Pleased with how it's going. Just struggling to finish projects at the moment, but starting lots of them.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is a good direction. The color is really good. I think just continue on with your highlight. I think the pants
have a very sort of similar tone
color to the skin. So yeah, I think you might want to change the pants to a different color.
Yeah, I see what he's sort of going for, but like some of the times people do that. Like, have you ever seen that thing where there's a woman in tan toga pants at the at like the Starbucks, and there's like people like sort of they're doing a recording of it.
They don't realize that she's wearing pants. It looks like she's not wearing pants.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's the intention here.
No, I don't. Well, no, what I'm saying is that, like, people do things like that. But yeah, I think skin tone looks good.
Yeah, I really like it. It looks like real dark skin.
Alright, let us move on.
Here we go. some very rough sketching of the skin tones. Just wanted to make sure y'all know she isn't going to end up as She-Hulk. No, for sure not.
Yeah.
But it does look like you're going for a more olivey skin tone. She looks very supermodel-esque. Very Kardashian at the moment.
So just remember, like, Renaissance paintings are a lot like this. Like, I've seen where people sort of develop up with these Renaissance paintings.
Yeah.
And it does look a lot like that at the moment.
Yeah, just the sketching in, some more blocking it in.
Yeah, and then, like, they all sort of blend it together sort of thing.
Yeah, then once it blends together, then they, like, build up the color even more. And then it looks like nothing like how it started out.
Yeah, it's...
And then you wonder to yourself, what's the point of all that if it doesn't look anything like the starting point?
Well, I think it's like all of these sort of subtle things build.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and...
I mean, like, if you were to zoom this picture out and look at it from afar, it looks like some shot in a magazine.
Yeah.
Like, it could really pass as, like, a legitimate editorial photography.
Well, let's...
You know, like, check that out. Look at how that all just sort of comes together.
Yeah, and that's sort of the point of that's sort of the point of that sort of Renaissance style, where you set everything up. But I don't think there's much more that we can really say to this, because, like, it's obvious whip stuff, right? We understand what he's doing and where he's going, but it's just not with it yet. You know, not there yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. Oh, and now the Space Marine takes up a lot of
all
the work
the details
you've already done, yeah.
That's probably the fastest painted Space Marine I've ever made. But it should be enough for Barely Visible Pilot. I mean, for Barely Visible Pilot, you've sure put in a lot of work into it.
Oh, yeah. Like, but, I mean, look at
the eyes.
I'm gonna go back to this and see if I can find the part where there's one part I remember in particular. I don't think you've got it here in the pictures. Like, you've got this it?
Yeah, there it is. These are the pilots.
Yeah. But they're like these little panels here. You don't have them shown, because like there's like you actually drew instruments and stuff and all of this sort of thing. And
I think there's a photo before we assembled them that shows
I'm not sure where it is, but
before we put the pilots in.
I don't... Why are miniature painters like this? That's the real question. Well, you got all of the sub-assembly of him. You've got pictures of you shaving stuff. But where is the
It's just like a big shot, but like you can that's the one. Up the two paint handles.
Oh, yep. Yep, this one right here.
You can see how puny.
Like it is absolutely teeny tiny. But yeah, like
nobody
ridiculous.
gives a shit.
Well, Tomas does.
I mean, people viewing it. Like, people he might show it to.
At least we all know now that the pilot is actually painted. Well done, Rumble. Well done.
We appreciate it as the miniature painting community of users.
Alright, next up.
Oh! Well, this took a real turn. Okay, end of painting on Friday morning. I really couldn't unwind, so I've spent the last 4 hours of Thursday night. So I worked on my Warhound, managed to get the golds done at last. And yes, the blue metallics is intentional. There's one more step for that soon. For now, sleep and recovery.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that this is all grey now, because like he had the steel underneath. So like, because I don't see any masking or anything. So like, I wonder why he did a steel underneath it, sort of thing. Very confused.
Yeah, I'm also confused. I thought like you could use it as a filter, but
Get confused. Do not, yes. But the gold's looking good. I like the gold.
Yeah.
What is happening?
One is flash, one is not flash.
But why is it no longer zoom in? Thought we had a zoom in picture. Do we not have a zoom in picture? Was I zoom in this whole time? Is I retarded?
What next we have? Well, from Larry. Did just a little tonight. Scratched up the surface of the resin for some icy texture using a sanding stick. Added frost effect along the edge, which I think I still drying. May touch it up later. A little bit of the water slash puddles over some of the snow with artificial snow to make a sort of sludgy ice effect. Oh, okay, so he's like standing next to like a frozen lake kind of.
Yeah, frozen lake, frozen river sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
Because I do believe that's what happened to Rasputin. They ended up. So like, it did all sorts of things, but I think in the end they ended up shooting him and throwing him in a river.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
And that's how they got rid of him. And like, there's all of these rumors of him having supernatural powers, and there's a whole thing. But yeah, I think it all looks good. You know, honestly, I just think rim the base and you're done.
Yeah.
Like, because I think it's taken up enough time. Alright, and then we've got one more Larry, but I'm going to reload because maybe something happened before the end.
Okay. So we got Larry, who says, glued the branches to a green toothpick so there'd be a more firm base to attach to the base. Hey, that's smart. The idea is for it to look something like the example picture at the end. I did this before doing the snow on Rasputin and the few minutes it took to do that. Naturally, one of the branches has disappeared to I can't find it land. Yeah, I have some more branches in the package, but I really hate needless waste. Oh well. Yeah.
We can definitely feel you with the missing bandit and some injuries to some models.
Well, I think the fern just really adds that final sort of jungly feel to it.
Yep.
Or foresty feel, you know, something about a fern that just makes a forest feel like a forest.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's great. And I think we are done this week.
Seems that way.
Would you like to talk us out?
Well, thank you everyone for posting this week once again. And it is very good to see people pushing past their boundaries this week. RJ pushing his limits. You know, people continuing on, picking up the brush after a long time. It's been really good seeing everyone come back. And, you know, as always,
keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.